Yes, you're back with us in See the Stories on the Triarmy Show on See Today. We're still with Dr. Denta discussing Weaning 101. So, Dr. Denta, should we pick organic or homemade baby food instead of a store-bought one? Because usually I try to mix the homemade food with store-bought one, like abon, for example, like floss, yeah, right?
Floss, yeah.
And like puree, for example, for snacks.
Yeah, of course, the most ideal is the home cook.
Yeah.
That's the most ideal. The most ideal one. It doesn't have to be organic. It's just the thing that we can get easily from our local sources, like from the market or from the fresh market. So that's the ideal one. But sometimes, of course, in a certain condition, I mean, like we have to also incorporate like hybrid,
Yeah, for busy moms as well.
Yeah, for busy moms.
Just a little is okay,
Just little
right?
is okay, because now, I mean, like the technology also make it possible to have a really fortified food in the cereal, right? So just make sure that the food that we bought is already in a BPOM certified for baby, because it's a different rules with that.
And not too much sugar.
Not too much sugar. So that's what you need to control.
Yes.
Okay, so no matter how hard the mom tries to feed the baby, sometimes there's GTM, gerakan tutup.
Yeah.
But sometimes it works when the parents are eating with the elder siblings. The baby wants to eat what we eat. So how can we sort of combine this baby food and solid food that is already presented on the dining table for the adults?
Yeah, that's actually the recommendation for the baby to eat together with the family. So what I found a lot with the parents is they always find a special time for baby to feed or to get the meal, but actually it's not recommended. The recommendation is to get together with the family, because the most important thing is to know is that eating is not an acquired skill; it's an adaptive skill. So when we just give the baby like start at 6 months and then we just give the baby the food, they do not know what to do with the food. I mean, like, because they don't see the examples. There's no example. So now when we eat together, they can really see how to chew, how to open the mouth, how to swallow, and that's gonna make it much more easier for the baby to adapt with the weaning process. That's the first one. And the second one, of course, from the menu. Just make sure that the menu the family eat is similar with the menu that the baby eat. Just make a softer or the texture is because sometimes it's happened a lot because the baby doesn't want to eat the food that the mother prepared, but they want to eat the food that happens
like
a lot.
the fried foods, like.
But does it mean that they're ready? For example, the parents' food are more solid, bigger chunks and all that. Does it mean that they're ready for that?
Yeah, they're ready.
Like
just make it say we eat, I don't know, like soto or rawan, and then of course the soup, the soto, you can give it to the puree just to make the baby can have a hint that they eat a similar thing, because it's not fair if we give the baby plain food with the porridge,
they will be bored.
And then the parents eat soto, rawan or rendang every day.
With some sweat, right?
With some sweat and
Especially some fried foods like tempeh and tofu.
Yeah.
They will love it to just put it in their mouth.
They love it
So
to
would
like
that
a
be
finger food.
safe enough then to give them
according to their
fried
age?
According to the age. Usually finger food can be started around 8 to 9 months. Just make sure that it's like a size of the finger, just not.
I usually cut it in pieces, or like a finger.
Just like a finger. So because they can chew it, like suck it, and then.
Even though it's a little messy. But Doc, I have one question that I'm very curious about. It's about something called watching while eating. It cannot be separated with the babies nowadays, especially when they do the movement that we want to avoid at all costs, GTM.
I've seen adults also watching while eating.
So,
giving examples.
Is it safe if it's under our control and we accompany them, or we should avoid it?
Well, again, the recommendation, there should be no distraction at all during the eating, because eating is a process of interaction and learning and socialization between the parents, the family, and the baby. They learn a lot during the eating process. So it's not just necessarily just give the food and then swallow it and that's it. No, but it's a process. But the most important thing is to give an example.
Okay.
Because now, why they keep watching the TV or watching the gadget during the eating period is because they observe that the parents also.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's a-
exactly. Giving examples, you have to be
Yeah.
careful when you're a
Yeah.
parent. I want to ask you, doctor, there are a lot of families that want to travel, let's say, and they want to make this meal session stress free. So do you have any tips? I used to, when I have babies, I used to like cook them and put them in jars.
Yeah, I
Then
love
I
that.
put it in the hotel, refrigerator,
Yeah.
and then heat it up. Asking for that. But is that the recommended one, or should we just be looking at sources wherever we are?
Yeah, that's the most feasible thing. Just look the food that's available where we are at the moment. I mean, like if you're traveling,
Cook it from scratch.
or that doesn't have to be as cooking from scratch. If you know the sources, that the sources is quite good enough, and then you can just make them cook for the baby. Just imagine like if you go to, I don't know, if you go to Jogja and then there's a gudeg with the porridge there.
Yeah,
Just buy it and then make sure that it's a clean one, and then you can give to the baby. That's actually one of the chances to give a variety of diversity of diet to the baby and the food.
I see.
And that's also probably a question on how to make the baby not a picky eater.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it from introducing them to a lot of a variety of menus, let's say?
Yeah. And never force them to eat.
To eat, yeah.
That's
I actually learned that's one of the biggest secrets. And also tactile stimulation, doc.
Yeah, tactile
that changes
stimulation.
everything. Like how can you explain to us and the viewers the relation between tactile stimulation, or we call it sensory play, and their ability and their appetite to eat? Because it's very connected, but I cannot explain it because I'm not expert.
Well, basically, eating is a multi-sensory process.
Yeah.
When we eat, we see the food, and then we smell the food, and then we touch the food. So it requires a good sensory integration of skills. So that's why for kids or a toddler or baby with a lack of sensory skill or sensory motoric skill, it will make them quite difficult to keep up with the feeding process. So that's the most important one, because food is not just put it on the mouth and chew it and swallow it, but
Sensory experience.
The sensory experience is a rich sensory experience. So that's why they can learn also from the food process.
Okay, so how do we monitor this whole process of weaning? We want to make sure that the development of the baby or the toddler is good. Do you have any tips on how we can actually monitor development?
First, never compare the baby with another baby.
With other babies, no.
Because sometimes nowadays I see in social media the video of baby eating very.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Very good. And sometimes
like, there's no tomorrow. Eat everything.
Eat everything. And sometimes the parents come to my clinic and they said, "Doc, I want my son to be like this."
Oh no, that's an impossible goal for me.
That's an impossible goal because every kid.
I don't wanna.
Yeah, every kid is different. So and we have already had the comparison that is more valid with all the growth chart and everything. So just make sure if it's a baby under 1 year old, every month you have to go to primary health care, go to posyandu to measure all the weight, the body weight, body height, and then we can compare to the growth chart, and that's it. And then
no need to compare with other kids.
No need to compare with other kids, and then that's it. If the baby like doesn't want to eat, a feeding strike, and then the growth is still good, the nutrition status is still good, then it's okay. Because sometimes when the mother stress out, the baby can feel the stress out from the mother. It makes them uncomfortable and they don't want to eat even more.
It's actually funny because when I feed him, he usually eats well. But when my parents, who are usually a little bit panicked when he started to close his mouth, he can sense it, and he doesn't want to eat anything with them.
They can sense
Usually
it.
that's what happens.
They can sense it.
He only needs the mother stud. But is it okay, doctor? I did this a long time ago. Like my kid, she loved yogurt. So I used to like offer her yogurt and meal, like rice or something like that. So like taking turns.
I did that too.
You do that too. Would that be okay? Because sometimes she got tricked.
Yeah.
She thought it's going to be yogurt, but then, no. Is that okay?
But she still eat it anyway. I mean,
Yeah,
like the food.
Yeah.
I mean, like sometimes, of course, we
Is
have
that
to
okay
be,
with their
it's
taste
okay
palette?
because sometimes we need to be flexible, right?
Yeah.
So we need to be flexible as long as we don't force the food, and then as long as they can enjoy sometimes, because it's part of the interaction, right? They can learn something. Oh, my mother is fun, like something like that. So
I'm gonna reveal it. Though.
I'm gonna reveal it. Just wait it. Just wait. Like
When
something
my
like
son
that.
is sick, I've done like a mixing fruit with rice and with chicken.
Oh, you
Like
did?
banana,
A banana.
chicken, and rice. But he eats well.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes we have to.
Maybe
Adapt.
When he doesn't want to eat, what can we do?
Well,
we only
have to
try
do
our
a lot
best.
of things. But there's a concern as well, doctor, to avoid obesity. Is that something that we can actually try to mitigate or prevent from such age, like toddler age, the beginning of solid food,
Yes.
let's say, and try to develop the way that they eat?
Yes. I mean, like, just try to give as real food as possible to the kids.
The first layer, yeah? Not
Yeah,
the
first layer.
processed food.
Yeah, no, not the processed food. And the second one, just make sure we have to limit the sugar intake.
Oh yeah.
For now, or the salt intake, and usually the
Salt as well.
the high sugar and high salt intake usually come in the form of processed food.
Yeah.
So as long as we cook by ourselves, the chances for them to get excessive sugar and salt will be very low.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's the nugget, it's the sausage,
Oh, yeah.
it's the it's the cornet, it's the processed food that come with the high salt. Because nowadays one thing that increase the chances for kids to get obesity is because of the very high calorie. So that's why we have to understand the baby and understand the cue of hunger.
Yeah.
Hungry and full, and they never forced to feed, and then you'll be okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Maria, do you have everything? You wanna ask
Yes,
anything
just
else?
one question.
Okay.
When they
When
they were sick and they only want more snacks than the solid foods,
Oh, yeah. Happens a
is it
lot.
okay if the period is only when they're sick, for example?
The thing is, when people are sick, not only kids, but of course us also, adult also, our appetite is decreased automatically because the body start to convert the energy just to focus on the
Healing.
Oh, that's
because
why.
eating requires a lot of energy. Digesting requires a lot of energy. That's why sometimes
Why
when
are
we
we
eat,
not losing weight when we eat a lot?
when we eat, and then after that we got sleepy and drowsy. That's because of that.
that's
Because
why,
all the energy is focused not on the brain but on the gut, right? And that's what happened to kids also. When the kids are sick, even just a mild common cold, usually the appetite is very low, and then just for the baby to focus on recovery.
They want something easier to
and
chew.
easier to chew, like milk or like a
Bread,
snack, like bread.
fruit.
It's okay, and then just give them time to recover, and then after that, usually the appetite will come back automatically.
So that's okay for a limited period.
Yeah, limited period.
All right.
All right
So
then.
there you go, moms out there. We hope that this can give you some tips and not making it a panic situation when it comes to solid food introduction to your babies and toddlers. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Dr. Denta.
for your insights.
You're welcome.
Come again.
Of course.
Yeah. All right. So See the Stories will continue. That's going to be after the break. Stay here.